Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Chris here from the MootFM channel. Today we're going to be discussing Gamblification. We're going to also be discussing some of the more funny stories around gaming whales. Now let's get started by talking about gaming whales. What is a gaming whale? For those of you who aren't big into the mobile game kind of space, essentially a whale is somebody who will invest hundreds, if not thousands of dollars into very specific video games to get some type of progression, unlock a particular character, and have any type of progression within the game, whether it is aesthetic progression, a dopamine sense of progression, or an actual mechanic sense of possession in terms of, enhancing your own skill level. Now, these gambling whales are kind of funding, I think they're funding 70% of the video game market space with mobile games. 70% of the profit that is generated from mobile games comes from only probably a few thousand people who are spending a lot of money into these games. And we're going to look at a couple of these funny stories today, and we're just going to, enjoy it for what it is, laugh at it a little bit, but, it is kind of serious, but, whatever. Let's just have a bit of fun with this as the first episode from our series about gaming whales. Now, to get started with, we're going to look here over into r/gacha gaming. Whale for the first time ever and regret it within days. So what I'm keen to look for is what game it was. Star Rail. I've never heard of Star Rail. I'm not a big gamer, but I think it's important to kind of know what kind of games are pushing these mechanics. All right, so we've got like an anime Korean kind of aesthetic here. That this is, I feel like, going to be a very common trend here. And so let's have a look. So before I knew it, I shelled out shy of $3,200 within a few hours. Before this, the most I've ever spent on a gacha over the years at one time was probably 50, 60, and for a single game, maybe 150 over 18 months or so. This was new territory for me. Let's talk about gacha games. So gacha games are immediately kind of identifiable by this art style. This is resonant with games such as Genshin Impact, and a lot of games that I think we're going to come across today. But essentially, gacha games are much like you pull a lever for a chance to unlock something. Usually, in most cases, a character, an item, things like this. And what will happen is with these games is they will have these kind of monthly or seasonal projects and they'll have these banner characters. So they promote, hey, there's this new character. They're going to promote the game over the Christmas period of this year, and people will spend a lot of money to unlock these banner characters, as we're going to see here. But I just want to get that out of the way for those of you who do not know what a gacha game is. This guy spent $3,200 on this game within a few hours of playing it, which is ridiculous. Oh my gosh. And so yeah, $3,200. See if the comments. Let's have a look and see. Post clarity, post pool clarity. Yeah, wow. A lot of people here are really shocked about this. Let's have a look into a different subreddit now. We're going to look here into what was the worst case of whaling you have ever seen. So, never seen in real life, but I played FGO. So FGO is, let's have a look at what FGO is, just so we can all know what this is. So Grand Fate Order. Again, a kind of another Japanese gacha mobile game. Alright, so keen to know that. Let's see. Dropping 200,000 in currency on each banner character is hard to stomach. So that's what I'm talking about. Each time of these new promotions come up, people spending hundreds, if not thousands of dollars just to unlock a character. Insane. Honestly, just get Minecraft. You pay $30, you don't have to pay for it again. Free updates and everything. My brother used all his savings in high school on FGO's Castoria banner. About $1,400. Luckily, he got one copy of her. Man, the gacha rate is atrocious. This statement here, man, gacha rate is atrocious, is kind of excusing the practice. I just don't resonate. That doesn't resonate with me. I just think it's ridiculous and shameful almost. So speaking of Melt and Mist, after 3 banners and $2,000, 2,000 I presume that's in-game currency. Finally got Melt. Oh my god. So, tweet about this guy who saved over 900 tickets and 5,000k for a banner, and all I could think of was let's see, Dark Side DSP, Dark Side Phil, kind of an old legend, an antediluvian king of YouTube. Not the biggest amount spent, just the potential to crush it. The guy literally bankrupted himself in light of his forms. WWE Champions. WWE Champions is, I think it's like a kind of a card of the Champions game. So it is like a Candy Crush game. Oh my god. It's just a Candy Crush skin. And 70k oh my god. Yeah, so he's a streamer, begs his fans every day for money just to kind of live in this fantasy where he can spend all this money on the game. It's unbelievable. It's not even a good game. I mean, the other ones have actually art style. This one is just this one is just a Candy Crush. Oh, this is a bit sad, but let's check it out afterwards. A man spent $1.4 million to build up his character and was involved in controversy. Oh my god, look at $1.4 million. Fire Emblem Heroes. Let's have a guess into what type of game this is. Oh my god. It's just a role-playing game. It is. Holy, okay. Let's keep going. So, Tuhu, Sniper 98, some so this, I'm looking for money, because this, people have FGO, so this guy's saying it's 60k, it wasn't 70k, it was 60k, $5,000 to get Majin Vegeta in Dokkan. What the hell, man? See, I'm so removed from all of these games. So there's a Dragon Ball gimmick. Yeah, the whole Vegeta, right? So there's no Dragon Ball gimmick. Let's keep going. This guy didn't even get it. He spent 5 G's on it. Friend in DBO Guild asked me if he could borrow $100 because he's behind on rent. We talked for a while and he said he can't stop overspending on the game, around $2,000 a month. I sent him a little extra so he could get groceries. Didn't hear from him for weeks. It's a common kind of this is a common kind of money borrowing tactic, by the way. It's like a shame. He comes back and lost his apartment but found a roommate. His roommate joins the guild and we can hear them arguing something about how he needs to stop buying. Valk's cry for gear enhancement and pay for part of the rent. Oh my god. What's the reply? Oh my god, okay. There's this guy who has a Twitch channel named Oh Dear. He literally spent $70,000 into a game and somehow got permabanned because RMT trading. He thought he'd entirely quit after the game, but then he came back with another account fully geared. It doesn't stop. Let's keep going. Dyer the Legend in FFBE. I've seen this probably. What is FFBE? Final Fantasy Brave. So again, we've got another Japanese role-playing game. Square Enix. Yada. Interesting. Oh, and it is the game is shutting down as well. So that's amazing. So this guy, 10k every month, and all an energy fulfills and stuff, and he does that, and the game's on, which is remarkable. So this is an interesting point here, right? And this is again one of the reasons why I'm really against this whole thing. So he's talking about it's on energy refills. So a common game mechanic is you basically have like 30 energy. But if you want to build a building in your game, that costs 5 energy. If you want to go on a raid, it's going to cost 10 energy, and so on and so forth. And basically, once you've used up your energy, you can't actually make any significant actions in the game. But you can use in-game currency to get acquire energy to keep playing the game. So this is a mechanic that is completely created to extract money from the users. It's sick. It's honestly, it's sickening. It should sicken me too. Let's see. Two guildies in Ragnarok Online Mobile. Where's Ragnarok Online Mobile? Name and shame here. Ragnarok Online. So Ragnarok is a massive multiplayer role-playing game. South Korea. Interesting. Let's keep going here. One guy spent 40k in a single day trying to outbid other whales for an MPV card. The auction is weekly. Luckily, he won the bid. LOL. He used to post pictures of his 400k boat in Guild Discord. So, ranking top 1 to 3 mini gacha games, and it's bored. Last time I checked, he was playing Black Desert Mobile. It offers a million ways to pay to get stronger, so I'm sure he's major funding for global server. Lol. Oh my god. Okay, so again, what's this game? And I think what interests me about this, right? Okay, so this is MMO, 150 round. Yeah, interesting. What is interesting about these games is a lot of people, normal people, right, they go on the App Store to kind of, see, is there any kind of new games popping up? I think people have a lot of a hangover from, Candy Crush, Jetpack Joyride, Angry Birds, those kind of simple kind of games. And people are always looking for a game to kind of idle their time because they're probably inherently, like me, think that, better doing that than maybe going on social media as much. But these games are all quite obscure. Like, you have to be really into this kind of area of gaming culture to be aware of these games. And you're going to wonder, how big are these games? And what this small audience is obviously just funding, and they're probably making more money than a lot of the biggest games, which is kind of shocking. Let's keep going. WWE Champions. People used to pay $1,000 to get a new character when they came out. There are some people in the Discord that used to pay $3 grand when Hulk Hogan came onto the game during Christmas of 2019. This guy, obviously, quite, the famous Christmas of 2019 when the Hulkster came down. $3 grand. There is Mega Shield from the guy. A player of Japanese World of War WOTV. I thought that would do World of Warcraft, possibly not. Let's have a look. What is the WOTV? World Vision. Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, which we've already kind of looked at. $30,000 in the first 5 months. My god. Alright, we're at the bottom here, but let's see. So, was a FGO stan, but at this point, I don't anymore. The worst case of whaling I'm seeing is Japanese whales keep throwing piles of money into the game, so there's no figures. I'm looking for figures. I don't know figures. This is horrifying. Let's have a look at this guy. This is kind of so wall of text. Okay, guy started playing this game short of July 2016. Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. Banks, who's got history with this kind of franchise, pulled again $300, so he's already invested quite a bit of money. $1,000, $2,500. I mean, let's just do Control F and let's just look for all instances of money. I mean, oh my god! I mean, look at this! Look at this! I have 109 instances of the dollar sign being used. So let's go. So we start here. Right, $20. 99, 99, 200, 200, 99, 99, 99, 300, 99, 99, 99, 99. Let's keep going. $700, the new record. 300, 400, 1,700 new record. 1,500 new record. 4,000 new record. $1,000. $1,000. 99, 99, 99, 99. $2,500. $2,500. 1,000. 400, 500, 99, 99, 500. Oh. Okay, so here we go. I have zero interest credit card at 11k, but I'm paying it. I have a way of making it look like I'm paying off all debt to cover it if my wife asks for the money. When no. I went all in 3,000 in Lapis, again, currency, I presume. My wife. Oh, here we go. December 7th, 17. This should be serious. Let's be serious here for a second. My wife asked if she could use my credit card to buy food and send it to a family member celebrating a huge accomplishment. Offhand, she asked if she could see the balance. She saw something in my response, trying to dismiss it, and wouldn't let it go. I asked her to go upstairs so we could talk in private. I confessed having a balance of $5,600 on my card due to Final Fantasy. A couple of days later, I heard the rest of the story. I'm currently in $15,800 in debt. My wife no longer trusts me. My kids, who ask me why I'm playing Final Fantasy all the time, will never understand how I selfishly spend money I should have been using for their activities, their birthdays, their festivals, their clothes, their school events, their weekends, their movies. I have never spent more than $1,000 on my wife at one time. I spent $16,000 on digital garbage in about a year. If she decides that she will not divorce me, I owe her more than I can repay. $16,000. It's tough. It's tough. Oh my god. I'm actually so depressed after reading that. That's terrible. I'm really depressed after reading that. Let's move on. Let's move on to something a little bit more on the jovial side. So this guy, well, for the first time ever, I regret it within days. So let's have a look. From your $3,200. $3,200 is like nothing compared to the horror story we've just seen. I'm just kind of like broken now after seeing that. Oh my god. Yeah. This is such a mad point I think this guy made here. So the gaming industry is normalizing paying $70 for games, and there's people who legit throw thousands at gacha games. I think this is so true. This is so true. There's a lot of people who chimp out about games being $80 Australian when they come out, like AAA games. But no one's really talking about these kind of practices. It's horrifying. It honestly gives you a headache. Post-pool clarity. Yeah, I think that's pretty much right. I think you should really be feeling quite sick and uneasy if you're doing this, man. That is terrible. That is absolutely terrible. I think DSP is still $70,000. That seems to be the record so far. But it is unbelievable. I think this is all kind of going to show, guys, that, these games, and I think we now can see a lot of the similar kind of trends of what they look like, how they perform, what type of audience they have, what kind of community they're in. I think these games are incredibly harmful. I think they're really dangerous, not only to just the individual, but society, to the family. And these are ruining people's lives, man. And I think, there are those of us who have these kind of gambling instincts, these gambling, it's almost like a gene, this high risk reward gene. And I think, at the very least, you've got to be self-aware enough to not get yourself sucked into these, because it'll ruin your life. Guys, I'm kind of depressed after that. This is going to be the first episode of Gaming Wales, the first episode of five episodes on the MootFM channel. Thank you very much for watching. Have a drink, have a walk, and maybe put the game down. And maybe, just maybe, talk to your family if you're having any issues. For real. Take it easy, guys. Bye.